Hi, my name's Amanda. I am a coach and a trance channel, and welcome to my series called Meet the Archangels, where every single week I trance channel one of the archangels to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves to you. This week, you're going to have a chance to meet Archangel Gabriel. If this is the type of content that you like, please stick around and click subscribe because there are so many more archangels that are dying to meet you.
Hello. I am so grateful to be here today in front of all of you. And I'm so grateful for my opportunity to properly introduce myself. My name is Archangel Gabriel, and I am one of the archangels that is assigned to watch over you during your existence here on this planet. And what I would like to discuss with you today is not only the role that I play in your life, but the role that you play in mine. For that is often a perspective that is not spoken about or pondered about. And it is my opportunity to introduce myself to all of you. And therefore, I would like to speak on this a little bit because I believe that it will be a little bit eye-opening for you to understand my perspective and the role that you play in my life and how we serve each other in this way. When you decide to embark upon an incarnation on this planet, there are multiple things that you must take into consideration. One, you must identify what the purpose is for you and what you would like to learn from and grow from. And that would require making certain choices in terms of where you'll be situated and who will be around you and what decisions will be made available to you early on. And from these choices, this determines the early stages of your existence. And from there, you get to decide how you would like to navigate it. And from these decisions, this becomes the basis of your experience. And from my vantage point, I'm here to witness you from the very beginning stages of this incarnation and to the very last breath that you draw. And I am there to witness you in action, in expression, and in full personification of this version of you, because it is my livelihood, my existence to watch over you and to ensure that you are making decisions that are not only for your highest and best, but what I mean by that is in alignment with what you deeply desire. Because many of you do not make decisions that you actually desire to. You make decisions according to the perceived availability that is available for you, what you have been taught or made to believe is best for you or is the most probable destination to desire, and what is the outcome that will serve you best. And it is these options that form the basis of the choices that you make and the path that you lead yourself down. And this is all fine and good. This is part of the learning and growth opportunity that's available to you while you are here. But I know better, and so does the soul inside of you. And it is up to us to work together to present opportunities and options and availability for you that perhaps the human part of you wouldn't deem to be the safest choice. But I guess that is the conversation that we need to be having at this time is what is the safest choice? What is safety in your incarnation on this planet? And I believe that there are two forms of safety that require discussion at this time. The one opportunity that safety presents to you is the idea that what is known is safest. Because if you can predict the outcome, then you know exactly where you are headed and there are no surprises. And the idea of a surprise to the human mind is extremely fearful. And this is not surprising in and of itself, due to the evolution of the human mind and, the basis under which it was formulated, which is protection, protection of the self. And that is part of the illusion of this experience, is that you must protect yourself. Protect yourself from what? From harm, from shame, from embarrassment, from an outcome that does not serve you in the eyes of those who have reared you. The other availability of safety comes down to the idea of not being safe inside of the version of you that desires more. And what I mean by this is that there is a version of you that does not feel that what is known is unsafe, but the idea that what is unknown presents a lack of safety. This version of you knows that safety does not exist in the same way that your human mind deems it to be. Safety is not a predictable outcome, but rather a sense of self. When you do not feel safe inside of yourself, it is because you are not following the path that feels right to you. And this version of you does not feel safe unless you are inhabiting a part of you that desires to express itself in a way that feels best. And these two parts of you are at war with each other. The one part that desires to feel that it understands its path and where it is going, and the other part of you that feels that it desires to express itself in a way that feels authentic. And to that part, that is what is feeling safe inside of itself. This desire to embody its truth without feeling like it must hide from itself. And so many times, these parts are at battle with one another. And the part that wins out is the part that feels safest in its external environment, the one that it can control. And as a byproduct of this other part is constantly feeling at unease because it does not feel safe inside of itself, you see. And so you are following a path that should feel safe, and yet it does not. And this is why so many of you do not feel good inside of your life, even though you chose a path that should feel good to you based on what you have been brought up to believe or told by those around you. And so there is always a part of you that does not feel safe inside of yourself because you are either foregoing your true identity and sense of self, or you are being met with unpredictability of the world around you. How do you win with this? This is where I come in, my loves. It is my job to show you an option that feels good for you, that allows you to both feel safe inside of yourself, knowing that there's a desire to fully embody what it would require of you. And there is an element of the unknown there. But can you call upon me and allow me to help show you how to find safety inside of it? And I do this in many different ways. I do this by appearing around you at the most unpredictable moments and offering you a way to find safety, perhaps through a conversation with a loved one, perhaps through an opportunity that you did not foresee, that when you are met with a wave of calm and relaxation comes over you. Or perhaps it is something as simple as a beautiful morning breeze to lighten the mood, a song on the radio that takes you back to a moment in time where you did feel safe inside of yourself, that helps anchor you into that embodied way of being at that point in time. And it is through those little moments that I am helping offer you an availability of safety inside of yourself. that provides an opportunity for you to make the decision that feels unsafe logically, but you are being given an opportunity to access safety inside of yourself as you embark upon it. And what I'm really offering you in these small moments in time is proof that safety comes from a feeling inside of you, and that it is possible to walk down a path that is completely unknown to you and find safety inside of it. Safety is not created by controlling the environment around you. Safety is created by understanding that the environment around you has no impact on you unless you allow it to. Safety comes from knowing that this is an experience for you and being done through you, and that in fact you create your environment. And if you are not feeling safe inside of yourself because you are making choices that are not in alignment with who you really are and what you really desire for yourself, then this will be reflected back to you through relationships, opportunities, and outcomes that still do not feel safe. They do not feel good. And there's something about them that irks you. And it is up to you to first feel safety inside of yourself, regardless of what is happening around you, for opportunities to present themselves that might challenge this a little bit. And then seeing the opportunity to embrace something different regardless. I understand that this conversation of safety perhaps may not be top of mind for you unless you truly think about it that way. But much of the fear that you feel in your life is based around the notion that you don't feel safe inside of you. That's what this is. It's a personification of the thoughts and belief systems that you carry inside of you, that you cannot feel safe in yourself unless you can predict what might become of you. And this is the very thing that holds you back from fully embracing the opportunities inside of this lifetime that are truly accessible for you. It's because you do not feel safe in choosing them. And I do not mean necessarily tangible options, a different way of life, a different place of existence, of living, of traveling, different relationships, but I mean safety inside of each and every single one. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what the environment is exposing you to, if you do not feel safe inside of yourself, it will not matter what befalls you. You will always feel apprehensive. Safety must be created through feeling. And this is where I come in, my loves. I take it upon myself to help create this safety for you, allowing you to access it in little moments in time. And it is up to you to see it this way or not. But I hold great pride in this role that I have, offering you the availability of safety inside of this lifetime. Because at the end of the day, that is what I believe you are searching for. How to feel safe inside of it. There is something undeniably scary about coming here in and of itself. You are left without your senses, your memories, and you are made to exist without them until you can remember that they are there. You are cut off from your greater sense of awareness and a greater aspect of who you really are. And there's a part of you that knows this, that understands this. And I desire for you to tap back into the power that truly exists inside of you, which is the ability to create whatever experience you desire to have in any moment in time. And if you can access safety at any moment in time, then what are you not capable of? What is not available to you? Because what decisions would you make differently if you always felt safe inside of them? If you always listened to the beating of your own heart and chose things according to what felt aligned for you, this is how you would create your full potential in this lifetime and access it to the degree that you desire to. But you must feel safe inside of yourself first in order to be able to do that. You see this. And so I believe that it all comes back to safety in this way. How can you access this level of safety? And what is safety? Safety is a vibrational resonance, knowing that fear is an illusion of this experience. And fear doesn't exist outside of it in the same way. And so safety is not an absence of fear, it is an embracing of it. Finding safety inside of the experience of fear, knowing that it is simply part of this experience. And your human mind will try to convince you otherwise. And this is where I come in to remind you of what your truth truly is. How can you feel afraid in any one given moment and have the greater level of awareness that that is okay and that the fear doesn't need to go away in order for you to feel safe, but the fear needs to be embraced? Because through embracing your experience, you remember how powerful you are and how capable you are of creating the safety that you desire for yourself. Fear is simply a resonance that you have forgotten who you really are. And when you can embrace the part of you that fears, in that moment you remember who you are. And by remembering who you are, there is a degree of safety inside of that. And this is how you create a different experience in that moment. Embracing the part of you that fears, knowing that that is your human part and only a small part of who you really are. And that that part can be afraid while you make choices that feel good for you on a soul level. And I would argue that finding safety inside of the expression of fear is what this experience is all about. You didn't come here to learn how to compete with fear. You came here in order to learn how to exist inside of it. And remember that you are so much more than the fear that permeates you. And by embracing the part of you that fears, this is how you access what is truly available for you, which is everything. When I am successful in helping those of you demonstrate in any given moment that safety can be found inside of a fearful experience, this gives me joy because I am allowing you to access the memory of who and what you are. And in doing so, I access mine. And this is the relationship that we have with one another, where you remind me what my mission is and why I care so deeply about it. And I remind you of the same. And together, we move forward in tandem in this way, each reciprocating to the other that they are not alone and that there is so much more available to them inside of their experiences, their desires, and their hope for a different outcome, a different future, and a different way of being. You would not come here if the possibility of facing who you are without struggle didn't exist. Because it is through struggle that you learn how to be with it and access a part of you that wouldn't be available without it. How can you experience struggle in your existence here and come to terms with the fact that this is what you desired of this experience? And that is where you will find your safety inside of it. Knowing that it does not have to end and that it does not have to go away in order to feel good, feel better, or feel safe. Because I would argue that safety cannot fully be accessed without pain and fear and a desire for it to end. True safety is accessed inside of all of those things and knowing that they can last forever and that you will be and are perfectly okay. It is the transcendence of the experience that you seek, which means the allowance of it. And this is what I am here to grant you access to. Call upon me when you are feeling afraid, when you desire to take action in a direction that is new for you, and you're feeling apprehensive about it, or when you desire to embrace a part of you that feels uncomfortable because you fear what those around you might think or say, or because you're not entirely sure what it is that you are searching for inside of yourself, but you know that it is something more. And allow me to give you small experiences of joy where you can access safety, knowing that the fear might still be there, but that it might be easier to remember that it does not have to go away. And from there, you and I can move forward together in a new direction that will lead you to a new outcome and a greater sense of your true purpose here. Transcendence of the experience that the human part of you wishes would end sooner, but the soul part of you knows doesn't have to. Thank you so much for your time today. I love you all so deeply. And if you have any questions about what was discussed today, call upon me and I will find a way to clarify it for you. You are each on your own individual journey, and will come to terms with this truth if and when you are ready to, in your own time, in your own way. And all of that is perfectly okay.